All right, you should be reading this on your screen as much as I can get. I'm not going to get all of it probably, but I'm going to read it. Man, I'm probably going to shrink the screen. This is a spiritual channel, and I'm probably going to say something like make sure you read this video or something. I don't know, cause it's real important to me, real important. Cause like I said, a lot goes on, and you try to make. I'm just a very honest person, very direct. And but it helps me serve God because I just understand God. Like, people died so that we could have this information. So I see it a little bit differently. It's not something we should take for granted. But at the same time, nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. Nobody's trying to be a hard head or a hard rock. Because I wouldn't like anybody. I came out of Jehovah's Witnesses, and that was like a 1980s. That was like a paramilitary to me. So nobody wants to be bullied either. So I understand all the sides of it. So now recently, now I'm on the same website. You might be able to tell it's the same website. And I got a lot of people actually watched it because usually when I do prayer videos, if I get like 4 people praying, which is okay because you don't have to because you can pray. I understand that part too. But this one was about a bad marriage and a father really that I think it was a man. He was praying about his wife, and it really upset me. It's the end of the night. And when I read his prayer that he took out that much time to basically trash his wife, I was like, you low life piece of trash, Like that's how I honestly felt, but I tried to keep my core and I was minding my own business. But what I'm saying is other things are going on. So again, now I was just doing my own prayers. I wasn't necessarily trying to, make a video of prayers. And then I came across this one that you should be looking at. So I'm going to use this to make just a point, because like I said, it's a lot of stuff going on. So here's another long prayer. As soon as I saw it, I said, I hope it's not that guy again. I was like, I hope it's not that guy again. But I don't know. I kind of get the feeling this is his wife. I'm just, because why would you write a long prayer putting your marital problems out here like this? This is inappropriate. But I am going to read it. Last time, you would have to go back to the video. Like I had, right now, I said 19 views. So obviously people were interested. That's another reason why I want to talk about it. This is why I want to talk about it. So I kind of get the feeling this is the guy's wife. I really do, because he wrote a long thing about her, and he probably knew she was going to see it, and she did see it, and I kind of get a feeling this is her response. So she says, manipulative marriage. I am very unhappy and controlling in an controlling marriage for 12 years. My husband is very active in our church and extremely social and wonderful to everybody but me. To me, he is cold, critical, controlling, and manipulative. So first and foremost, he's a phony. He's a phony. Because that's horrible to go outside of your own house and treat everybody with love and forgiveness and kindness. You're probably kissing babies, shaking babies, and talking to everybody. And you might even have a little position in the church or the congregation. But then you come home and you treat her like a certain way. And women like to talk, women like attention and stuff like that. So that's very hard, that's very terrible. Plus the Bible tells you that if you don't love your wife, God won't hear your prayers. So you may think you're doing well, but with God, but you're not. And that's really the person you want to please. Now, don't get me wrong. Every situation is different. Like some people are really out of control, and sometimes you become kind of disciplined when you're around those people because they're very rude, or always trying to like narcissistic people. They're always in your face, always trying to start something, always some type of problem. So you act a little differently around those people because they're out of control. But you're still not mean. You don't necessarily, like I just got finished doing a video about that recently. You're not mean or mean-spirited, but you just can't be overly friendly for the simple fact that these people are really slick with the tongue or they don't know when to stop. So those type of people, you can't be the same. But you're still not cold or overly distant. She said to me, he is cold, critical, controlling, and manipulative. We have 3 young daughters who he lavishes attention on in order to hurt me. Because while he dotes on them, he's ignoring me. He makes me doubt my feelings and my decisions. I cannot travel or go anywhere without him. My world is getting smaller. He controls everything. If I go out with the friends, he will stonewall me as if I betrayed him or hurt him somehow. So he really is. This guy's a piece of work. This might not. These may be. See, I just saw a long, like I've never seen a man, because I'm praying all the time. I've never seen a man like trash his wife like that. So when I saw it, I was like, wow, this is out of control. So I don't know. I don't know if these two are related or not, but it's just strange to me that after you see a man leave a long prayer about his wife, all of a sudden you see a wife leaving a long prayer about her husband. So it just seems like, you know, I don't know. But I've been out here a long time. I've never seen no husband or wife write these long prayers like this. She says she cannot travel or go anywhere without him. Without him, he makes me doubt my feelings and decisions. My world is getting smaller. He controls everything. If I go out with friends, he will stonewall me as if I betrayed him somehow or hurt him somehow. I have stopped spending time with friends to give him more opportunities to spend time with me, but he has no time for me. I will plan a date and he won't want to go out and spend money. The next day he will take out one of our daughters on a date. It feels like a slap in the face. I don't understand why he is so unkind to me. He does not want me to read books unless it's the Bible, and it takes away from the time out with children. As it takes away from the time out with children. He does not want me to have hobbies as a season of life should be about my children. As this season of life should be about my children. The same does not apply to him. I am a stay-at-home mom, have no career, have no control over finance, and I have no family to help me. He will not allow me to receive counseling, let alone go together. He is friends with our pastors at church, so I cannot speak to them. I am very alone, feeling hopeless, need to get out of this toxic marriage if I have no sparks left inside me. I want to protect my daughters from this toxic relationship. Please pray for help, answer, strength, and wisdom, faith, and peace for my family. I don't want to divorce, and if this marriage can be healed, I desperately want that. But if this controlling relationship continues, I can no longer expose my children and myself to it. Thank you for praying. I don't have anywhere else to turn. All right, what I want to try to do is just lower this size, so because I wanna copy the whole thing like I did the last time. Okay, I think I'll be able to get it. All right, now I'm just being honest with you. This is why I tell people don't rush into things, you know, because we're dealing with a lot of that now. We're dealing with a lot of like what I call fake, phony Christians, because you can't be talking about God, and God is all about marriage and love your wife and whatever, help your husband or assist your husband, and just for some reason these people just won't do it. So it's sad. All right, because I really want to get this loaded, so I'm not gonna say too much. So again, how I would say this is how I would say this is I don't know. Don't rush into relationships. That's first and foremost. That's just the way it is. Because at the end of the day, you don't realize you're not thinking about God. Because when you think about God, you slow down. And you're always going to hear me use slow down. Because that's what happens when you jump into things and then now nobody's happy. And this guy, obviously, he's not emotionally mature enough. And obviously, he doesn't have the type of love in his heart, needed for a relationship. So you really have to grow up somewhat. And she does need counseling. And I don't know. Sometimes you gotta shake the boat. That's all I can tell you. If you feel that way, sometimes if you can't go to the pastors and stuff, they're only gonna team up with him. I've seen that thousands of times. They're gonna team up with the guy most of the time over a woman. Sometimes you have to go. You have to do what you have to do because you can't do that. Scripturally, you really can't do that. And anybody that tries to make you think that you have to, he can't make her feel lifeless. He's supposed to be one of her reasons for living. And that's his job. That's his God-given job. Like I said, even with me, if I was in a bad relationship, I wouldn't resort to childish behavior and stuff like that. Like if a person wants to go, let them go. Uh, you know, I'm not like that. In fact, I was in a situation back in the 80s like that. and the person wanted to go. That was a result of a cult. That situation failed primarily because of a cult. But it is what it is. You're young, you live and you learn. And they wanted to go out. I was like, go. And then they were the one trying to play the mind games and still coming back in my life after I had met somebody else. And then that person told them to leave me alone, stop contacting me. So that this person was, trying to be there. Like it was one of those things. But I don't fully blame them because I was a lot younger, and then the cult really messed us up. But it was still a lot of silly stuff. But they wanted out. They forced everything. I told them to slow down with everything. They wouldn't do it. They forced everything. But I figured that once it was over, it was over. I was moving on with my life. So that's kind of like I am, because what happens if you get caught up with all this human stuff, he's not joking. When God comes, there's certain people that are going to make it in that kingdom and some are not. So if you're all out of the picture, not studying the Bible, not reading the Bible, you're walking around depressed and all that, it's a good chance that he may not. That's why I'm out here every day. A lot of videos, everything. He's not joking. God is not joking. You have to really focus on God, even if you're in a bad situation. Still pray, still study. And you can't just pray about, I'm going through the situation, pray for me. You got to really be honoring God, praying to God and stuff like that. So I don't know if I'm reaching anybody, but it just bothers me to see people write long prayers like that against their husband or wife. That really bothers me a lot, because that's a personal matter. Don't get me wrong. You could write prayers, hey, I got issues with my husband, please pray for us. But a long book like that, it really looks like she saw him do it about her, and then she turned around and did it about him. I don't know, but I've never seen that. That's what like recently, if you guys were praying with me, you would see there were 3 prayers I couldn't pray for, because it seemed like the person was sneaking little evil stuff in the prayer. So if you would agree with that prayer, you would have been accepting the evil. So I had spiritual discernment. But what was unique was they were right in line. Like one followed the other one. So that became more suspicious. Like right till I got that area, I said, well, I can't pray for this prayer because that. Went to this one, I can't pray. So I think it was the same person just sneaking stuff in. Because you have really crazy people. So like it's a lot of people that are witches and stuff. They go in churches and act like they're Christians and stuff. And you have a lot of websites out on YouTube that act like that. And it's really like witches and evil stuff. And then they act like they're Christian sites, but they're not. So you have to be careful. So when you see long prayers like that, it's inappropriate. You should never put your business out there like that. You can ask people to pray for you and things like that. But you don't put the whole long list of what the person's doing because it's inappropriate. And a man definitely should not do it. See, women are more inclined to talk their feelings. But a man should have the kind of control as a man to handle it the way of God. And that's what I did. And that was close to 30 years ago. That's what I did. The person wanted out. I was like, well, I tried to talk to them. They went out. They went, what am I supposed to do? What am I going to do? Then I said, take some time to think about it. I don't want to take any time. Well, they wanted to rush it. Nothing I could do about that. But then they kept coming around. See, that person was confused and playing games. And again, I'm not saying they were fully wrong, because there was a lot that went on. Because we were in a cult, a lot of stuff went wrong. A lot of stuff. That's what's going to happen when you're in a cult. And you're following human advice thinking it's God. That's what a cult does. But my point was, she made her decisions and this and that. And you can't keep running back because I want to get on with my life. And the fact of the matter is, no disrespect, but if it wasn't for the cult, I wouldn't have been marrying. I wouldn't have been married that early in life, and I probably wouldn't have married that person. This was just about being in a cult and believing that garbage that they speak. So that's why I'm very upfront and to the point. So I hope I help somebody. That's the whole point of doing this thing. I hope I help somebody. If you're in a marriage, there's ways to go about things. Keep God in your marriage. Keep praying. And if you have problems, don't play the victim card. Don't sit there talking about, I don't know what to do. What you do is turn to God. You don't have to turn to a human. Start praying to God, going with God. If you gotta leave, leave. If you gotta get outside counsel, gotta go outside because the church is on his side or whatever, pastors or friends and all that. You gotta stop sitting around and playing that victim card. You have the power of the Holy Ghost, so there's no reason to feel like a victim. If you're a man, you should learn how to treat your wife correctly. To even call yourself a Christian man and make a long, long letter that disrespects her. You're saying it's a prayer, but it's really a letter because you're letting everybody know, hey, I got this effed up situation with this woman I'm with. Because you could have just said, hey, guys, pray for me and my wife. We're having some problems. That's a godly prayer. That's somebody looking for God. Somebody that's writing a long letter like that, it's like an announcement. Hey, look, I got a neighbor. They throw guard, and it just starts going. They throw guard. They're up at 3 o'clock in the morning. And you pick a long, so you point everybody's business out in the street, whether they know who it is or not. It's not appropriate. So I hope that helped anybody, somebody. God bless.